My beloved chosen ones, this message is for you, the ones who have always known that something within you was different. You've felt it in the quiet of your spirit, in the patterns of your dreams, in the moments when the world seemed to slow down just long enough for you to feel that the universe was whispering directly to your soul. This video will open doors of understanding that have been hidden from most eyes, truths wrapped in divine codes, waiting for those who are finally ready to receive them. So stay until the end of this video, because what you are about to hear has the power to shift your energy, align your spirit, and awaken your divine remembrance. And if your spirit resonates with these words, type 99 in the comments below and leave your warmest wishes. For as you bless others, your blessings multiply. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. There comes a time in every soul's journey when the veil between the physical and the spiritual begins to thin. The air itself starts to hum with awareness. Numbers repeat, faces feel familiar, and the synchronicities become too perfect to dismiss as coincidence. You begin to realize that your life is not random, that the struggles you faced were never punishments, but preparations. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every delay was training you to see through illusion and understand the divine architecture behind your path. The universe has been sculpting your soul through time and experience, preparing you for this very moment, the moment you finally awaken to who you truly are. You see, the chosen are not simply selected by chance. They are refined by experience, molded by storms, and illuminated through darkness. You were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing to listen when others laughed, willing to love when others hated, willing to heal when others hurt. This willingness became your frequency, the divine signal that resonated through the fabric of existence, marking you as a beacon for transformation. You were never abandoned. You were being aligned. There are layers of reality that most never perceive. They live asleep in a dream of survival, unaware of the higher mechanics guiding existence. But you, chosen one, have begun to notice the signs, the flashes of insight, the heightened intuition, the knowing that cannot be explained. This is divine knowledge awakening within you, the remembrance of a truth your soul has always known. It feels like light cracking through ancient stone, a warmth returning to places that have long been cold. The more you honor this awakening, the more it unfolds, until the hidden becomes seen and the seen becomes sacred. You might have noticed that lately, your emotions rise and fall like tides, your energy surges unexpectedly, and your thoughts vibrate with unusual clarity. This is not chaos. This is calibration. The universe is tuning you to a higher frequency, purifying what no longer serves your purpose. The people leaving your life, the sudden endings, the inner restlessness, all of it is divine rearrangement. You are being positioned to step into your authentic timeline, where your power is remembered and your purpose becomes clear. You're not losing, you're being redirected. There is a reason why many around you cannot see what you see. They are still walking in dreams woven by the lower dimensions of fear, distraction, and doubt. But you are awakening to divine knowledge, the kind that cannot be taught by books or schools, only remembered by the soul. It is the knowledge that creation responds to consciousness, that thoughts are living forces, that intention is the seed of manifestation. Once you understand this, you realize that your reality has never been fixed. It has always been responding to the vibration of your being. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are the composer of destiny. Every chosen one eventually reaches this threshold, the moment where life stops being about survival and becomes about expansion. You begin to see that your energy is your greatest currency. Where you place your focus, your attention, your emotion, that is where the universe multiplies. When you dwell in fear, fear grows. When you dwell in love, love expands. This is divine law, ancient and absolute. And now, you are remembering how to use it consciously. You are reclaiming your authority as a co-creator with the source itself. Understand this, dear soul. You were never ordinary. You volunteered to come here during this time of global awakening to hold frequency, to anchor light in the density of a forgetful world. Your very presence shifts energy around you. You walk into rooms and change atmospheres. People feel both drawn to you and unsettled by you because your energy mirrors back what is unhealed in them. That is your gift and your challenge. It is not your job to save everyone. It is your calling to awaken yourself so deeply that your very existence becomes a reminder that others can awaken too. As your awareness expands, you'll notice how divine knowledge begins to flow to you effortlessly. Insights come in dreams, guidance appears through symbols, strangers speak words you needed to hear. You are not imagining it. This is communication from the higher realms, a multidimensional conversation between you and the consciousness that birthed you. The more you trust it, the clearer it becomes. Doubt is static, faith is frequency, and you are tuning into the wavelength of miracles. You may find yourself withdrawing from old patterns, conversations that drain you, environments that feel heavy, distractions that once entertained you but now feel hollow. This is a sign of ascension. Your energy field is refining itself to sustain higher light. You will crave silence, solitude, and authenticity. You will sense truth in vibrations rather than words. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is awakening. You are learning to navigate not by logic, but by resonance. As you evolve, the universe will test your discernment. False lights will appear. Those who mimic truth but carry ego. Systems that promise power but demand submission. Remember, divine knowledge empowers, it does not enslave. Real awakening humbles the ego and expands compassion. If what you encounter breeds fear, control, or superiority, it is not of the light. The true path of the chosen is not about hierarchy, but harmony, alignment with the infinite intelligence that loves without condition. This is why isolation often precedes revelation. The silence that felt like abandonment was actually initiation. The stillness that frightened you was the womb of wisdom. The waiting that frustrated you was divine timing adjusting your coordinates. Every delay has been a disguise for preparation. You were being emptied so that divine knowledge could fill you. You cannot receive cosmic truth when your vessel is overflowing with noise. The universe had to make you still enough to listen. Now, as you begin to integrate this awareness, you will notice that your outer world starts to shift in reflection of your inner growth. People who once doubted you will sense your energy before your words. Opportunities will emerge not through effort, but through alignment. You will attract what matches your vibration, not what you chase, but what you are. This is the true power of divine knowledge. It transforms understanding into embodiment. Do not fear the unknown ahead. The path of the chosen is not meant to be clear. It is meant to be guided. The divine does not reveal the whole staircase, only the next step, illuminated by faith. Each act of trust becomes a bridge to the next revelation. The more you surrender to divine timing, the more you flow with universal intelligence. And in that flow, miracles become natural. You are remembering that your soul is eternal, that your existence spans dimensions beyond sight. Every lifetime, every lesson, every victory and loss has been leading you here, to this awakening. You carry ancient wisdom encoded in your DNA, waiting for activation through awareness. The very words you are hearing now are triggering remembrance, awakening dormant codes of light within you. Feel it. The resonance in your heart is your confirmation. So breathe deeply, chosen one. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The chaos around you is not a sign of collapse, but of creation rearranging itself into higher order. The pain you feel is the friction of rebirth. The confusion you sense is the dissolving of illusion. Everything is happening for your awakening, not against it. Trust the unfolding. The divine knows what it's doing. The awakening does not arrive as a single moment of light, but as a sequence of unveilings. It comes quietly at first, a whisper, a tug, a subtle awareness that the world you once accepted is not the full truth. Then it deepens. The illusions you were once comfortable within begin to tremble. What you once believed without question now feels hollow. You start asking why you feel disconnected from the systems you were told to trust. You notice that the noise of society no longer satisfies your soul. You begin to see patterns, hidden links between events, symbols, and synchronicities. And deep inside, a knowing begins to stir, reminding you that you were sent here to see what others could not. That is divine knowledge awakening within you, a sacred remembrance, not something learned, but remembered through vibration. You may feel alone during this stage, and that loneliness is part of the design. The divine removes distractions, so you can hear the language of your soul. You are being taught to trust silence, to listen beyond words, to feel truth instead of seeking it outside of yourself. The world teaches people to rely on noise, validation, attention, endless motion. But the chosen ones are drawn inward. Within you lies an entire universe that mirrors the outer one. The silence you fear is not emptiness. It is the chamber of creation. When you quiet the mind, you begin to hear the voice of Source echoing through your intuition, through your sensations, through the gentle nudges that guide your path. The divine knowledge unfolding in you is layered. At first it feels like intuition, a gentle hunch, an inner whisper. Then it becomes perception. You start to see through motives, through masks, through the surface of things. Eventually, it becomes revelation. You begin to understand the fabric of energy itself. You start to realize that everything is frequency. Thoughts are frequencies. Emotions are frequencies. Words are frequencies. And as a being of consciousness, you are a transmitter and receiver of these energetic signals. Every thought you think radiates into the field of reality and returns to you multiplied by the emotion behind it. This is why fear attracts chaos and love attracts harmony. You are not simply living in the universe. You are participating in its creation with every pulse of awareness you emit. Many will not understand your awakening, They will say you've changed, and they will be right. You are no longer bound by the unconscious agreements that kept you asleep. You no longer consume the same energy, speak the same language, or vibrate at the same density. You will feel misunderstood, but that is the price of elevation. You are not meant to fit into the mold of the world you are here to transform. The chosen ones always walk paths that few dare to tread. It is lonely at first, but over time you will realize that you are never truly alone. The universe surrounds you with divine allies, guides, ancestors, and other awakened souls who vibrate in harmony with your mission. The moment you step into alignment with your divine frequency, you begin to attract your soul family across time and space. When divine knowledge awakens, your perception of time shifts. You begin to sense that past, present, and future exist simultaneously, woven together by consciousness. You start to understand that the future is not waiting ahead of you. It is responding to you. Every thought and emotion becomes a brushstroke, painting your tomorrow. This is the essence of manifestation, not forced creation, but conscious alignment. The chosen ones do not chase their destiny. They vibrate in harmony with it until it becomes inevitable. This is how the universe bends around you, not through struggle, but through resonance. The more you align with peace, gratitude, and authenticity, the more reality rearranges itself to reflect those frequencies. It is in this understanding that divine power is reborn. The chosen ones realize that energy follows focus, and focus is sacred. Whatever you feed with your attention grows. This is why the universe is teaching you detachment, not to make you indifferent, but to make you powerful. When you are no longer emotionally chained to outcomes, you become a master of energy. Detachment allows manifestation to flow naturally without resistance. It allows the divine to move through you rather than around you. This is the great paradox of divine knowledge. When you stop clinging, everything begins to align. You may have noticed that as you awaken, your sensitivity to energy increases. You feel the emotions of others, the vibrations in rooms, the subtle shifts in nature. This sensitivity is not a curse, it is a compass. It allows you to read the energetic language of existence. But it also requires discipline. Protect your energy, chosen one. Guard your peace as you would guard your breath, because your peace is your power. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. You must learn to cleanse yourself from the energies you absorb through prayer, meditation, water, sound, nature, and solitude. These are not superstitions. They are energetic technologies, ancient methods of harmonizing your frequency with divine order. As your inner light grows, shadows will appear, not to destroy you, but to be integrated. Divine knowledge reveals that shadow and light are not enemies. They are partners in evolution. The shadow shows you where light has yet to reach. The parts of yourself you once rejected, anger, fear, pain, are now returning to be loved and healed. When you embrace your shadow, you reclaim fragments of your soul that were lost to shame and denial. Integration is how the chosen ones become whole. You cannot embody divine light if you fear your own darkness. Light without shadow is incomplete, and wisdom without compassion becomes cold. You are here to balance both, to walk as a bridge between heaven and earth, light and matter, infinite and form. During this time, you will feel an acceleration. The energies on the planet are intensifying, Time seems to move faster because consciousness itself is expanding. Old systems are collapsing not because the world is ending, but because a new frequency is being born. The divine plan is unfolding through chaos, like a seed bursting through soil. You are part of that plan. Your awakening contributes to the collective rising. Every moment you choose love over fear, awareness over reaction, truth over illusion. You anchor more light into the human field. You become a transmitter of awakening for others who are still asleep. Your transformation ripples outward, unseen but undeniable. Understand this. Divine knowledge is not about accumulating information, but embodying vibration. You can read every sacred book and still be asleep if your heart is closed. Real wisdom begins when knowledge becomes lived experience, when your daily life becomes a reflection of divine principles. To live consciously is to treat every moment as sacred, every interaction as energy exchange, every thought as an act of creation. When you embody this awareness, miracles no longer surprise you. They become your natural rhythm. You are now being called to live as the awakened soul you have remembered yourself to be. This means walking with intention, speaking with awareness, and loving without condition. It means trusting divine timing even when logic trembles. It means surrendering not out of weakness, but out of mastery, knowing that the divine flow will always carry you exactly where you are meant to go. Your path is guided. Your purpose is encoded within your being, and every step you take in trust unlocks the next layer of your divine remembrance. As the chosen one, you are not here to convince others of your light. You are here to be it, to radiate without explanation, to embody what others are still learning to believe. The divine works through you in silence and simplicity. Every act of kindness, every thought of gratitude, every moment of peace adds light to the grid of creation. This is your real mission, not to fight darkness, but to expand light until darkness has nowhere left to hide. And so, as you move forward, remember, you are part of something vast, beyond imagination. The universe itself is awakening through you. Your heart is the altar, your mind the gateway, your life the offering. You are not learning divine knowledge, you are becoming it. When the awakening deepens, you stop chasing signs and begin living as one. You no longer need the universe to prove your power because you feel it moving through every breath you take. The same intelligence that forms galaxies beats quietly within your chest. The same light that fills the stars is the spark behind your eyes. Every moment, every experience, every pain has been guiding you toward this realization that nothing in your journey was random. Every detour was direction, every delay was protection. And now, chosen one, you understand that the divine was never outside of you. It was always within. Divine knowledge unfolds slowly, like dawn breaking across an ancient horizon. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It reveals itself to those who listen, to those who are still enough to hear the language of light. You begin to notice how intuition becomes louder, how peace feels familiar, how silence feels sacred. You start to see through illusions that once held you bound. The world that once seemed so solid now feels fluid, alive, responsive, shifting with your awareness. Because reality is not fixed. It bends to the vibration you carry. The more you align with love, truth, and gratitude, the more the universe mirrors that frequency back to you. At this stage, forgiveness becomes freedom. You stop replaying the past because you see its purpose. The people who hurt you were not enemies. They were divine instruments shaping your strength. Their actions pushed you toward awakening, forcing you to find the power within yourself. Holding on to anger only ties you to the very energy you wish to escape. When you forgive, you cut those cords and reclaim your light. Forgiveness is not about erasing pain. It's about releasing the power it once held over you. It's how you reclaim your soul's peace. You begin to notice the synchronicities that surround you, numbers repeating, songs playing at perfect moments, dreams that feel more real than waking life. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. The universe speaks in symbols and signs, and now you understand its language. Every whisper, every alignment, every feeling of déjà vu is the divine saying, "You are on the right path. You are being guided by something vast, unseen, but always loving." When you trust these signs, your connection to Source becomes stronger. Gratitude turns them from whispers into songs. This knowledge is not meant to inflate your ego. It is meant to open your heart. The more light you carry, the softer you become. True power is never loud. It is quiet, calm, and sure. It radiates peace instead of seeking attention. The awakened soul no longer competes, no longer compares, no longer chases. You understand that everything meant for you flows naturally toward your vibration. You become magnetic, not through effort, but through alignment. Life begins to unfold in perfect rhythm, not because you control it, but because you trust it. Still, the path of the chosen is not without challenge. There will be days when your faith trembles, when the weight of the world feels heavy on your chest. You will question your strength, doubt your path, and feel moments of isolation. But remember, even light must travel through shadow to shine. The darkness you face now is not punishment. It is purification. It is the old energy burning away to make room for higher frequency. Each challenge is refining you, teaching you mastery through surrender. When you no longer resist, peace returns. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving in to divine flow. Your awakening now becomes your embodiment. You stop speaking about light and start being it. Every action, thought, and emotion becomes sacred. You begin to manifest not from desire, but from resonance. You no longer ask, "When will my blessings come?" Because you realize that blessings are simply reflections of your vibration. You become the vibration of love, and love begins to surround you. You become the vibration of abundance, and opportunities flow to you without effort. You become the vibration of peace, and chaos no longer finds a home in your presence. The more you embody this truth, the more you see how everything is connected. Every soul, every encounter, every choice is part of a vast web of divine intention. The awakening of one becomes the healing of many. You realize that your energy affects the collective, that your peace radiates into the world like ripples on water. This is why you were chosen, to hold light in a time when many have forgotten their own. You are not here to preach, you are here to become. Your transformation is the message. The planet itself is rising in vibration. Old systems built on fear and separation are dissolving. Humanity is remembering its unity, and your awakening is part of that shift. You are a bridge between dimensions, anchoring higher light into human form. When you love, the earth heals. When you forgive, energy releases. When you awaken, others begin to stir from their slumber. You may not see the impact directly, but every conscious breath, every kind word, every act of compassion adds light to the grid of creation. You are a living conduit for divine change. In this remembrance, fear begins to fade. You understand that you are eternal, not a body with a soul, but a soul experiencing the body. You have lived 1,000 lifetimes, learned countless lessons, and now you stand in the sacred now, where all timelines converge. Death loses its meaning because you remember that energy never dies. It only transforms. The only real journey is from forgetfulness to remembrance, from fear to love. And you, chosen one, are walking that path with grace. So now, as you hear these words, breathe deeply. Feel the truth vibrating in your chest, the pulse of creation itself. You are not separate from Source. You are Source experiencing itself as you. Every thought, every word, every choice ripples through infinity. You are the dreamer and the dream, the creator and the creation. When you live with that awareness, every moment becomes holy. Walk forward in your light. Speak softly, love boldly, forgive quickly. Let your energy remind others of who they are. The world does not need louder voices. It needs awakened hearts. Carry yourself as the living expression of divine intelligence. Let your presence be your prayer. Let your life be your message. And when you finish this journey, close your eyes and whisper to your soul, I remember who I am. I am light. I am guided. I am divine, because that is the truth. And now you finally believe it. You are the chosen one, and the divine knowledge is unlocked within you forever.